truth upper. People tell me I have a lot of alpha energy.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up. Throughout the world
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Thank you all for being with me. It's a rainy day in LA, at least morning. I feel like it's raining all over the world. It's raining, 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 raining. There's a line open at 888-7753. Two lines right now. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question for this week. My biblical question. What ties you to your parents? What ties you to your parents? What ties you to your parents? That's my biblical question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And no matter where you are, sleeping in the airports, you're illegal alien sleeping in the airports, you're at a rally in Chicago and you're black and you're mad because the black mayor is letting the illegals come in to move into your neighborhoods and schools. If you're out there about to do some fentanyl, or you're about to jump off the bridge because you're having suicidal thoughts, you could be listening to the show or just laying up at the beach. You could be listening to the show by calling the listen line on your iPhone, iPad at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And social media, follow us all there. Y'all know about that. Follow, like, ring the bell, subscribe. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram and JLP Talk on X. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram and JLP Talk on X. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com, buymeacoffee.com, or rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com. All right? Appreciate it. So for the new listeners, we do this thing called Bible Thumper Thursday. We take all calls, but we definitely take Bible Thumpers call because we give them a little more time to, try to communicate with Bible Thumpers. Bible Thumper! Because it's hard to communicate with them. They're not listening. They're just thinking of the next verse. So we give them a little more time on Thursday. We deal with them all the time, but a little bit more time on Thursdays. So every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday.
All right, brother. Are you ready? He's drunk as a badger.
He's drunk?
Go ahead. Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Go ahead.
Amazing. Bible Thumper Thursday. Amazing. And I understand it. I totally understand it. Been there. I could never become a Bible thumper. I tried, but it wouldn't stick. I think because I'm black and slow. I tried to read it and remember it just didn't work. Thank God it did not work. But I totally understand it. I do. Understand why you can be a Bible thumper, how you become one, and why. So 888-775-3773. There are a few things that I want to just throw out there. A few things I want to throw out there for you in hope. I mean, not even in hope, but for those who are truly trying to find their way back home to the Father, a return to the Father, because that's what life is all about. A return to the Father. And so I try to throw things out there that would prompt you to start like, wow, does that make sense? That makes sense? Oh, it doesn't. Right? And see for yourself your way back home to the Father. Life is all about that and that alone. Really. And number one, I've told you over and over again, our battle is a spiritual battle. It's a warfare between good and evil. It's not physical at all. And the people who try to attack you, that are jealous and envy and strife and revengeful and suicidal and whatever you are, it's not you, it's anger that made a home in you. And that anger is an evil spirit that made a home in you. And all people in this whole entire world, in every human being that's born through the mother, man, boy or girl, female or male, and they become angry because they're born into a angry family. We'll put it nicely, into an angry family, until they lose their innocence and they become like their mothers, and that's when hell began. And that's what you got to be reborn from anger to love. And in that fallen state of anger, and these are just for those who want it. I understand everyone don't. It totally makes sense. Stay in your hell. But for those who want to overcome it, anyone that has anger is a murderer. Anyone that has one little bit iota of anger has no peace. Anyone that has anger has fear. Anyone that has anger cannot be trusted. I don't care who they are. It doesn't matter. You cannot trust an angry person. Do not. Do what you want, but these are just spiritual principles that I'm warning you of. But do what you want. You can trust and stay in your hell and get destroyed. It's up to you. But anyone that has anger cannot be trusted. What you're looking for in life is already inside of you. It's done. You just don't know it because you won't look inside of you and return to the Father. People with anger, Christians and non-Christians alike. People with anger believe that you have a choice in life, that you're in control, and that you can do what you want. You have a choice in life, that you make decisions, and none of those things are true. You do not have a choice. You do not have a free will. You have never made a decision in your entire life. Never will, never ain't, never can't. But in your fallen state of anger, your father, the devil, lies to you and tell you that you do. And then there are people outside of you who are in their anger, and they're telling you the same thing that their father, the devil, is telling them, and that you have a free will, and that you are in control, that you can make choices. You can't make a life happen You would never, ever, as long as you walk this earth, never, ever be able to create your own life. You can't make it happen. Believing that Jesus is God is not doing it for you. It's not true, so it's not doing it for you. Belief doesn't work. The only thing that's going to work in life for you is that you must return to the Father. And nothing else is going to work. No money, no family, no husband, no wife, no material things at all. And the heart is wicked. All angry people, hearts are wicked, is evil. It is pure evil, and they live in it. And they love it because they call hell heaven. They think being in fear and trying to hurt others is heaven. They get a thrill from it. You can read the Bible until the cows come home. You can go to Bible college, quote unquote, Bible school, whatever you call it. And you could get bishop, pope, pastor, reverend, preacher, deacon degrees and still be lost. You'll still be lost. All you have is education, which is your enemy. It is your enemy, not your friend. It doesn't matter how many people you have around you, you're still lost. You are still lost. It doesn't matter how many people you have around you. There's only one way to life, and that is a return home to the Father. That void you have, that emptiness, that little thing that feels like I got it all, but something is still missing, is a yearning, a love, a return, a need of return to the Father. It's a spiritual battle. And as adults, you and only you, nobody else, is responsible for you. Whatever you do in your world is being done to you. And you're not even in charge of your own world. You have to work on it. You have to watch what's going on in your world. But you're not. No one else is not going to be able to do it for you. Amazing, huh? Anyone that has anger, even a little bit of iota bite of anger, is two hoops and a holler from becoming Jeffrey Dahmer. Two hoops and a holler from becoming Jeffrey Dahmer. And the same spirit that encouraged Jeffrey Dahmer to do whatever he did, it's the same spirit that encouraged you to hate your fellow man, to hate yourself, to hate others, to deceive, to be jealous of, envious, revengeful, everything. The same spirit that encouraged Jeffrey Dahmer to do what he did, and he didn't even understand why he was doing it, just as you don't understand why you're doing the things you do. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I thought that way. I don't know why I felt that way. It's the same spirit. It comes from anger, and it's your father, the devil. And you call all in the name of Jesus. What a mess, huh? The same spirit, which is anger and fear, that caused Jeffrey Dahmer to do what he did, or Hitler to do what he did, or whomever, or Martin Luther King and the so-called civil rights movement to deceive the blacks, or whatever you're doing, or you to to make you believe that money and houses and living and having all you can get, material things, is the answer. It's the same spirit that worked through Jeffrey Dahmer. There's no difference. The same spirit that making human beings weaken animals, dogs and things like that, and put clothes on them and destroy their natural given ability to take care of themselves and to their natural body coats change at winter, spring, summer, and fall, and they call it love. That's the same spirit that caused Jeffrey Dahmer to do what he did. Isn't that amazing? The same spirit that causes women to try to take the men's children away from them because they're angry at the man, they hate the man, which in turn they hate God. But they hate the man, and they'll destroy the children, take them to court to keep them from the father. It's the same spirit that encouraged Jeffrey Dahmer to do what he did, Hitler to do what he did. It's no different, zero difference. A person that is shy and nice and gentle has the same spirit as Jeffrey Dahmer. It's all the same. Just has different names to dress it up, to make it look or feel different, but it's the same. Isn't that amazing? It's the same. The same spirit that caused Jeffrey Dahmer to do what he did. It's the same spirit that caused, not all, but a lot of black people to get loans from the government to buy homes, and they don't pay it back, and the economy crash. That's the same spirit. It's evil. It is pure evil. The same spirit that causes human beings to try to get love for one another, it's the same spirit that caused Jeffrey Dahmer to do what he did. You're not in control. You never will be. You ain't gonna be. You're either controlled by evil, and anyone that has anger has fear, you're controlled by evil. Or you're controlled by love. You have no anger and no fear. Anyone that has emotional love, oh, I feel love for you, and I feel love for my children, and I feel love for you, honey. That's the same spirit that Jeffrey Dahmer used. That worked through Jeffrey Dahmer, it's working through you. You don't have love. You don't love anyone. The same spirit that caused Hitler to do whatever Hitler did, it's the same spirit that caused a Chicago father to kill his wife and children. According to CBS, Chicago area father tell police why he shot and killed his wife and 3 daughters. Watch this from CBS.
Police say a Tinley Park man admitted he killed his wife and 3 daughters and even told them why.
The result of what prosecutors say was a heated argument over respect and money. Police would find the bodies of his wife Mahida, his 25-year-old twin daughters Halima and Zahia, and 24-year-old daughter Hanan. Also inside the home at the time of the shooting was their 19-year-old son, the lone witness, who was left unharmed. According to prosecutors, the teen woke up to a heated argument happening between Mahar and one of his daughters, where his wife and other 2 daughters were urging him to calm down, and then gunshots rang out. 2 guns were recovered at the scene. According to prosecutors, Kessam appeared to be disgruntled over how he was treated inside the home.
The defendant was recorded volunteering things about having just retired, and that, quote, she treats me like a dog. I worked 40 years, unquote. And, quote, I worked all my life to give my family a better home, and they treat me like
Amazing. That's the same spirit that was in Jeffrey Dahmer, Hitler, and whomever else. The same spirit of his wife, if that's true, that she was bitching and they were treating him that way, it's the Jeffrey Dahmer spirit. It's the same evil spirit. And the same spirit that causes the father, according to the story, to snap It's the same spirit. The same spirit that give phony smiles when you're just smiling to appear nice. When inside you know you're not. That's the same spirit. My whole point is you're possessed and don't know it. You have called evil possession of your mind and emotions, you have called it you. You identify with it as you. I feel this and I feel that and I want this and I want that and I feel this. If you notice, the man didn't kill his son, according to the report. He killed all the female because they were bitching. And you know how the kids become like the mother. According to the report, they were treated bad. He had provided everything. And this is so typical in families, it's not even funny. It's amazing. And he snapped, according to this report, and killed them all. Can you hear you bitches complaining? Satan said, kill them. You work hard, you provided, you did this, you bought a house, you whatever, right? It's the same spirit that causes you to do the things you do to yourself and others. You must return to the Father. You are possessed. Every human being is possessed. And playing ball, making a lot of money, whatever, ain't going to solve the problem. It ain't going to solve the problem. It's amazing. The guy didn't kill his son, according to the report. He killed all the females. I wonder why. Here's the man out there working and providing. I don't know this story. I wasn't there, so I didn't hear, but I can imagine. The mama, your daddy ain't this. Your daddy always work. Your daddy making the kids hate the father as she does. Not this particular story, so I don't know, but I can imagine. It's the same tune at every home. Amazing. I have a meme here for you. Pretty deep. A deep meme.
When you tell them how to find the God within, but they start worshiping you instead.
That is so true. Christ came and he told them how to find the Father. He said, look, I'm sent by the Father. It ain't me now. Y'all pay attention. It ain't me. I'm sent by the Father. So I can tell you how to get back to the Father. And they're like, what? While all the time I already worship him. But he's like, look within. God is in you. And instead of looking within, they made Jesus God. And that's happening every day right now. You making somebody your God, and then when you find a flaw in your God, you blame them. You don't see what's working in you. That's why you blame them. That's what's happening right now with every human being. Men make women their God. And when a woman doesn't do it, or she stopped doing what she was doing when they first started dating, they get mad at their God and not realizing they made the woman their God. They try to get something from her that she doesn't have. They try to get love. They try to get it through sex. And sex ain't love, and women don't have love. No such thing as a strong woman or a woman with love. Women don't have love, and women are not strong. Ain't no such thing as a queen. Even Queen Elizabeth wasn't a queen. She wasn't a real queen. She just owned enough land and money, she can call herself queen. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. You're living an illusionary life. You're not living in reality. Anyone that has anger and fear and loneliness and depression you are living in an illusion life. You're not living in reality. Reality is within, the illusion is without. Now, there are some men and women who are working on themselves. They are overcoming, slowly but surely. But most are not. They are not working on themselves. They're confused. They're worried. They're insecure. They have issues. And according to 1 Corinthians 14:33, God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. I can tell you, time and time again, Christians and Muslims and Catholics and whatever you call yourself, I actually have peace. Well, no. I have happiness. Happiness is not peace. Happiness is ego. Because a happy person can easily be made to be unhappy. Can easily be made to be unhappy. And believe me, people are confused. Preachers and all these people with these degrees and all that, confused. Preacher degrees, secular degrees, all it did was make God your enemy by building your intellect. And the intellect hate God, hate him. According to YouTuber, this is from YouTube, why believe Jesus Christ is God? Watch this from Christ Community Chapel. Watch this.
Is that Jesus himself said he was God. That's what the whole gospel is about. From the beginning to the end, it's all about Jesus being God. That's interesting. We need to be able to explain how Jesus can be God while the Father is greater than he is. But only the Father knows when the end of times is. Fascinating stuff. Oh man, so much to talk about. I haven't actually answered that question since I've been doing my recent studies at Oxford, so I'm trying to craft in my head how to put this all together. Wow. Jesus is omnipresent and omnipotent. God is one in being and three in person. Now that is not a contradiction. And that's Mark 14:62. Mark chapter 8, Mark chapter 2, verse 10, Mark chapter 2, verse 28. In Mark chapter 2, verse 10, like I just mentioned, in Mark chapter 14, verse 62, and we see this, there's so many more verses to talk about, but Mark 14:62, Daniel 7, thank you, Daniel chapter 7. People ask me how I remember this stuff, by the way.
That's the problem. He remember it. It's intellectual, and it goes against God. And the people sitting there in the audience, and intellectually, they're taking it all in, and they're going to walk out believing they have the truth, and Satan is going to remind them of it over and over again. They're going to quote it, and they're stuck in the hell of the intellect, which goes against God. 888-7753-773. A quick break. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Okay, welcome back. It is Bible Thumper Thursday. Bible Thumper, 888-7753-773. A rainy night in L.A. I feel like it's raining all over the world. That was by A Rainy Night in Georgia, right? 1969. Single by Brooke Benton. It's raining, 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 raining all over this world. The distant morning sun, a sad song through the night. So I get my raining guitar. Amazing. Good news. Put your ears close to the radio. Good news. You know, I told you how I've written several excellent books. They are excellent. Good reading. Helpful reading. Well, we ran out of paperback of the one of my books, The 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual and Family Financial Success Guide. The 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual. We ran out of the hard copy. Well, we have them back now. We got a new batch in now. You can order the amazing. You can order the paperback now, the hardback. We got them, and it's a little pocket guide that if you follow those 7 guaranteed steps, it'll be amazing. We use this book for our Entrepreneur Academy. We have an Entrepreneur Academy where we show men how to start businesses or enhance the business that they have already. So it just you can also use it if you have jobs or whatever. It'll work if you do it. You got to do it. It's not going to be enough to just read it. You got to be a doer of the word. A doer of the word, right? It's like you got to work on yourself spiritually. You got to be a doer. You just can't be a hearer. And so it's a little guide. I highly recommend it. We use it, as I said, in my academy. And it's now we have it new paperback with a foreword from Larry Elder. Amazing. Larry Elder. Amazing. And so From Rage to Responsibility, my first book, From Rage to Responsibility, the second one was, well, let me get the first one up there first. From Rage to Responsibility. Man, I was so young back then. What the? Had hair. From Rage to Responsibility, my first book. And The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate. No, not The Antidote, but we'll do it. That's my last book. The second book was Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black America. Amazing. And then the 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Also in our academy, we have a credit union where some of these guys, they don't have credit or they have bad credit because their mama, especially if they're black, their mama used their credit for her own. She put their name in credit when they were little kids and then screwed that up. Because you know the blacks ain't going to pay back. What the? And now they're adults and they can't even get the credit because the mama used the credit in their name. 7 Guaranteed Steps, and we have a credit union where we loan them the money and they pay it back with small interest, those who are in the academy. And then the last but not least, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. An amazing book. It just sums everything up. It's so good. So if you can order them all now, including the 7 Guaranteed Step, by going to rebuildingtheman.com/stores, rebuildingtheman.com/store. and I will sign them. Or you can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663, and I'll sign them for you to whomever you want me to. But you have to order it online at rebuildingtheman.com/store or call that 800 number, 800-411-BOND. All right? And for personal shout-outs, go to birthday, wedding, whatever the shout-out might be. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peters. I'll do them for you myself. I want to go to the busy phones. Julio, is it Julio? Out of Texas. Julio, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, sir.
Are you in a car or something?
Yes, I'm in the car. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. You're doing fine right now.
Okay. I wanted to call you about choice. You say we have no choice, right?
Right.
I'm just trying to see how you see it. Right now, you know, you chose to take my call, right?
Go ahead.
I'm asking, that's a question.
Yes, I decided to take your call.
But that's a choice, right? Like,
no,
I'm trying to, it's simple.
That's a practical decision.
Okay. So, since it's, I like your show.
And even then, I was still influenced to take it because the reason I went to your call first was because you disagreed. And when I saw that, I tried to get to the disagreeers first.
Okay, I mean...
So that still was an influence.
Okay, that's cool. You still made the choice. And I don't like to call because I sometimes don't have all the answers lined up to call you. But I did make the choice, even though it doesn't feel too great.
But you didn't make that choice. You were influenced to call because something told you that you disagree with that, or you were confused by it, or you disagree, and that what made you influence you to call.
Okay.
So that wasn't your choice.
Okay. So let me go.
Do you believe that you make choices?
I believe so, yeah.
And how do you know you make choices?
Because I choose to go to work. I choose to keep this job that I have.
Why do you choose to go to work?
Because I don't want to be broke.
And why not?
Why I don't want to be broke?
Right.
Because I don't like to be broke.
And why not?
Because it doesn't, I don't eat. And those are all practical things. I kind of see this as well, how it goes.
And also, even in those practical things, those things are influencing you to do what you're doing. You don't want to be broke. You want to eat. All those are influences.
So, that's true. That is true. So, like, let me go to the Bible, right? I know that you're not too good on the word, but you do go off of it a lot, even though you might not completely say you believe it all. It's kind of hard to sometimes believe everything you say, even though most of it I do agree, but you don't completely believe in the word or the Bible. I know what you mean when you say I don't believe in the Bible. I know you believe that the wisdom in it, you know, God inspired all these men, and it does make that claim in the Bible. It even makes me stutter about saying in the Bible because you say it's not in the Bible, but like let me go to Luke, right? Luke was a physician, and he recorded a lot of stuff about Jesus. And Jesus said, or Martha was over there crying about why Mary did this or whatnot. And Mary and Jesus said she chose the right thing. And that was Jesus, right? And she was like, I think, putting oil, her expensive oil, whatever it was, on his feet, right?
Right.
He said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said she chose.
But that was just a form of communication. You got to communicate, and so you communicate with others, one another, right? You got to use words, but your intellect makes you define that word based on what you've been taught, rather than allowing you to just hear it and let it go in one ear and out the other. And you have the Spirit of God that will give you the real understanding about it. But you allow the intellect to give you a false understanding about it.
But he still said it.
But it's another way. You have to communicate, buddy.
Right. But also in Deuteronomy it says, death and life is in the power of the tongue, or something like that. And then also it says, choose life. That's in the Bible too.
And what does that mean to you?
Don't do bad. Do the good thing. Treat others with respect. Look within, like you say.
Where'd you get that? Where'd you get all that from? That's what that means.
Because I can relate to it. I can see that it's a good thing. I can understand that I have.
How can you do? Well, how could that mean do good and you can't even do good?
Well, I chose that part. Maybe I didn't do it, but I lived it.
But you're not able to do good. So why would you think it mean that?
But if I chose to do the life part, right? Let's say I said
you can't choose to do it because choosing is not on you. You have no ability to choose.
I'm going to work and I let 3 people in.
Hello?
And
you say you let 3 people in your work?
No, on the in traffic here in Houston.
What do you say? What do you say about from Romans 7:19? For I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do.
Yeah, I do the things I want to do.
I do not do the good. I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do. They're doing the evil, but not the good, and he does not want to do the evil. He wants to do the good, but he can't do it.
That's a good point, because my first instinct was saying, well, I'm influenced, right? And I was influenced by the flesh. You
weren't influenced by the flesh. You were influenced by evil. The flesh cannot influence you.
Honestly, influenced by the flesh, because it does really feel good whenever I let go and give it to him. Whenever somebody is in the wrong, it feels good, and I do it.
But that's still not the flesh. It's the spirit that made a home. It's the spirit the spirit that made a home in the flesh that made the flesh feel a certain way.
But I didn't want to be graphic. But
no, don't be graphic.
As adult men in particular,
don't be graphic.
We're more of we like, they call it eye candy when we see something nice or something like that. I guess you're right, because I'm just using the eyes, but
right. It's the mind that makes you do it. That's the mind that makes you carry out that in the flesh, because you're listening to the devil. Yeah.
Well, thank you for for the call or for taking my call.
You're welcome, man. I appreciate it, Julio. Have a good day at work.
Yes, sir. Will do. You too, and thank you, gentlemen.
All right, buddy. 888-7753-773. 888-77 Jesse. There's a line open. Grace is out of Rhode Island. Grace, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, Grace.
Good. Sorry, I'm actually from Canada, but that's okay. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, it says Rhode Island here.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Okay, Canada. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So I wanted to call in and just kind of give you like a progress on like the challenge that you had for the year, which is to want for nothing, and just kind of share with you like how it's been going so far.
Okay.
Yeah. So I noticed like as I've been going on like with each and every day that like I generally like there's no need for me to want for anything because I don't know what I want. Like even when I see like, oh, I want something to buy and then I get it, I realize like that's not even something that I wanted. I was just in my head about it and then I got it and then I'm now like, okay, what was the point of getting it? And then I also realized too that like as I go on and I'm looking at like these identities that are dying away, to want for nothing is to let these identities go because in order for you to actually want something, you have to identify with it. So it's just interesting, and it's been amazing to see how, like, the more I just let all these thoughts pass by and just go, the less I see that there's any need to want for anything because in reality, I should just be living in the moment and let life happen.
Amazing.
Yeah. That was it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Okay, sounds good.
And it become clearer. All you need to do is to see it as you're doing. All you need to do is see it, and don't look away from it. Just see it, stay with it, stare at it, and do nothing about it. Go against it by seeing it, and you'll be just fine. It's amazing.
Amazing. Sounds good, Jesse. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Grace, out of Canada.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Pink out of San Francisco. Pink, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yeah, that's Mr. Pink to you, by the way. No. All right. So, hey, Jesse, I just want to call again. I know I've said this before. I really want to thank you for your guidance in my life and your super words of wisdom. They help me reflect and drop all the anger that I've had in the past. I really want to tell you, coming from a past that I've been living on the streets before here in San Francisco and across the country, as I used to travel a lot. When I got off the streets, I found that I was a really, really angry person. This was like 10 years ago, and I was really angry. I used to snap out at people over the craziest thing. I would like yell at the bums for doing crazy messes. I would yell at the yuppies for, getting in my way, walking down the sidewalk and stuff like that. And I found you 10 years ago in your words of how to drop the anger and not identify with that and all that stuff has really helped me overcome and become more of a calm, be still and know, wait and see attitude kind of person. And you mean a lot to me, man. And I don't know if you realize how much you really affect and mean a lot to the people that hear you. So thank you.
You're welcome. Stay with it. It ain't over yet. It's amazing.
Yes. So the other day on Tuesday, never ask a black man if he remembers. All right. But this was recent. So I think you remember on Tuesday that guy that called up and he was real distraught over how to get over I think it was his brother that committed suicide. Do you remember that guy on Tuesday that was real sad? And he said that he said something to his brother, like, go ahead and do it, and he feels to blame for that guy.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know what you're talking about now, yes.
Yeah, so I was listening to that, and it really cut deep the other day, man, because a very similar situation like that happened in my life about 10 years ago. My little brother at age 21 did the same thing. And my mom's at the time, she was living with him, and they were back in North Carolina. I live in California now. And she would call me and gripe and bitch and moan and all this stuff. I can't live with him. He's giving me hell. And, we did some stupid things and decided to try to maybe, in our imagination, we were like, well, we're going to give him a wake-up call. And we called in warrants that he had so we could get him out of the house, and hopefully, that would give him a wake-up call and all this stuff. And it wasn't very long after we did that he committed suicide. I've been going through a lot dealing with how to cope with that. And when I heard your words about how you're not to blame for someone else's decision, and how to just be able to let that go and not identify with the fact that you did something wrong or an evil spirit made a home in you a long time ago.
Right.
It really helped me to just find peace with that whole situation. I mean, my mom, I've showed her I've showed her your words, and she still called me just the first thing she's doing is crying on the phone about that. She's just like, oh, my baby, what am I going to do? And it's like all her life, it's always been about that, And
why don't you stop her from calling you? Why? Because she's getting a thrill out of doing it. That's the only reason.
I know what you're saying. I trust me. I have had to stop her from doing that. I have to. My mom will call me in the middle of work, and I'm like, Mom, you gotta change your perspective on this stuff. I cannot talk to you about crying about Robert passing away 10 years ago at work.
But no, if she continue, you just gotta ban her from calling you because she's using you. She's an actress on a stage. And she's using you by acting out and getting a thrill from it. She doesn't care at all about that boy being dead. It's just all an act.
I totally understand what you're saying. And it's like, I haven't banned her from calling me, but it's very, very a lot less that I actually do talk with her.
Can you hold for me?
Or on the phone.
Oh, yeah,
sure, absolutely.
Let me take a break. Back in a moment. 2 more hours to go. I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour one already of the Bible Thumper Thursday Jesse Lee Peterson show. It is Thursday, the 25th of January, 2024 AD. Stay tuned for hour two. JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, not fake news. It's been rainy for some of y'all. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, and, reports parts of the southern United States have received a month's worth of rain in just the last 3 days, prompting flash floods, widespread travel disruptions. Up to 7 inches of rainfall has already drenched some Texas cities, while areas of Louisiana received around 5 inches within 24 hours. That's rough. Speaking of rough, the Israel-Palestine war drama. Do you want to hear about it? Well, too bad. CNN reports the Red Cross, far-left Red Cross, has already warned that Gaza faces a complete medical shutdown unless immediate action is taken. They're speaking in the passive voice to safeguard essential services. Quote, every functioning hospital in the Gaza Strip is overcrowded and short on medical supplies, fuel, food, and water, said William Schomburg, the head of the Red Cross office in Gaza. This comes as Israel forces have insisted that Hamas systematically operates in Gaza hospitals. They're not insisting that they continue. They're insisting that it's a fact that they do. And adjacent areas, too, using residents as human shields, quote unquote. Meanwhile, in the evil United Nations, a United Nations building sheltering displaced Palestinians was hit by Israeli tank fire on Wednesday, killing at least 12 people, injuring 75 others. The Black on the Inside White House said that they are gravely concerned by that strike as Israel pushes forward with their military campaign. Did you know that campaign means war? Invasion/immigration. Meanwhile, in America, Senate Republicans, I call them, are deeply divided over a national security deal, so-called national security, that will impact immigration funding and aid for Ukraine. Our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, has encouraged Republicans to sink a so-called bipartisan, which almost always means evil, compromise on new so-called border security legislation, as many Republicans insist that the border must be dealt with before Ukraine aid can be approved. GOP leaders are pressing for a vote as soon as next week on the package, even though there is no deal nor legislative text yet, as many House Republicans are already rejecting the plan out of hand. Fine with me. You don't trust these people. And as Trump ramps up his opposition to the deal, it is making harder for on-the-fence Republicans to side with so-called President Crooked Joe Biden over Trump on an issue central to the 2024 campaign. What a mess. That's from CNN, Commie Nonsense Network. And death penalty drama. The so-called Supreme Court's declined to halt the execution of an Alabama inmate set to be the first to be put to death this week by nitrogen gas. Nitrogen. The controversial method, which is untested and unproven, says CNN, has raised concerns it could lead to excessive pain or even torture. So it's raised concerns about that. Following the so-called Supreme Court ruling Wednesday that they did not stay it, inmate Kenneth Smith is due to be executed during the 30-hour window starting today. Maybe he's happened already. He's dead already. I don't know. For his part in a 1988 murder for hire. 25 years ago, something like that. Or 35 years ago. Yeah. Alabama 14 months ago aborted an effort, meaning stopped an effort. Aborted in this case doesn't mean kill. To execute him by lethal injection because officials could not complete the procedure before the execution warrant expired. What a mess. Jon Stewart's going back to The Daily Show, not as the regular host, just once a week to cover the election. He used to host it all that time. Then they got that light-skinned South African lame-o. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
To stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Welcome to the second hour of the show. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. My biblical question. What ties you to your parents? What ties, T-I-E-S, you to your parents? What ties you to your parents? We have every way that you could watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, doing whatever it is you're doing and you just can't sit and watch the show, you're thinking about podcasting it later, which is fine. You could be listening to the show by calling the listen line on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Follow us on social media. We're on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. You got to know how to rumble. And Cozy, COZY.TV/JLP. Cozy, where Christ is King. Cozy.TV/JLP. Like, follow, ring the bell, and subscribe, and do all that. Also, to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or Bond JLP on Cash App, Bond JLP on Cash App. Okay? It's Thursday. It's the second hour of the show on Thursday. And every Thursday, though we take all calls, every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Turn around and look at these people. What?
From the Lord. I got what I wanted from the Lord. I'll go back to Washington. Oh, yes, I will. I'm a Southern Baptist. They don't believe in tongues, but God said it. I want it.
All drama only. Acting on a stage. And it has nothing to do with God at all. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Let me just quickly go back to Mr. Pink. I thought it was just Pink. But it's Mr. Pink. I had to put him on hold. Ran out of time there in the first hour. Mr. Pink, go ahead. Thank you for holding.
Yes, Mr. Peterson. We were talking about, how my mama used to act with my little brother leaving this world and stuff like that.
Right.
And you're totally right. I realized that a long time ago when I started listening to you, and I actually did go and forgive her. And I was able to get over, her emotional attachment and, realize that she was acting on a stage just like those people up in that church.
Right.
When I went and forgave her, it's really funny. Some people say that they bring out the hell in their mama, and they start fussing. My mom instantly, she started. This is exactly. I'll give you a little impression. She said, "Oh, thank you so much." It was like I gave her a present or something, And I was like, she was just doing all that out of her ego mess too, but. Yeah, so this kind of ties in because your biblical question is very, very similar to what I'm talking about.
What ties you to your parents?
I was looking at this question, and the word ties. I really like how you ask questions. Ask.
Ask.
When you use certain words, it really kind of brings things into perspective. The word ties, it's like being roped down. It's like being chained down to somebody. And, that's the one thing that you got to do is be able to let go of any ties to this world to be able to move on with your life. And, I would have answered, in a literal sense, of course, your genetics tie you to your parents. I mean, I find more and more every day that I'm looking like my fat old pops, and acting like my grandpa and my dad, with every move and all that. And of course, my dad's got some money, so I know my inheritance. I'm tied to him through inheritance and things like that. But really, on a spiritual level, especially since I forgave them, nothing can tie you to anybody in this world. And you shouldn't be tied to anybody, but God. If I can give you a Bible verse real quick to answer that question, just on a real quick note, because it's something you talk about all the time, but here's the actual verse that you reference, Matthew 19, 27 to 29. Of course, Peter, the accuser, was harping at Jesus. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that hath forsaken houses, brethren, sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life.
Amazing.
I mean, that says it all to me,
I really do appreciate you responding to the biblical question, and I want to respond to that, but I got to hold it until Sunday, and I'll put my little 2 cents in on them, but thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. That's your little 2 cents are worth more than $1 million, I'll tell you that.
Well, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
And just on the little quick review, I just wanted to let you know that I tried it out. The peanut butter hot dog is amazing.
It's delicious, huh?
You got to get that piece. You got to do it just like Jesse said. Get that piece of white bread, some creamy peanut butter, and you got to boil the hot dog. Because if you boil the hot dog, you get the moisture in the hot dog, and it kind of offsets the dryness of the peanut butter, right?
And it doesn't have to be white bread. It can be whatever kind of bread you like, but just one slice of bread is fine. And you boil the hot dog, you get the flavor, and it does make everything a little more moisturized for you. And it's so good.
Yeah.
But
you were totally right. I looked at that at first. I was like, "What? This can't be good." And then I thought about it, and I was like, "Well, Thai and sometimes Chinese, you see them putting peanuts and cashews in their stuff." I was like, maybe the nuts in the meats are not so bad like that. And then tried it out, and I was like, first bite, I was like, Jesse, you ain't never lying.
It's delicious. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you so much, Jesse. Thank you.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much. Amazing. 888-7753. 773 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. Before I go back to the phones, there is one line open right now. It's Bible Thumper Thursday. I believe I read about you don't know what you want. I dealt with that, right, Sean? Romans 8. Okay, I think I dealt with that. But just to remind you, you don't know what you want in life. I'm telling you, you have no clue. You do not know what you want. And that's why in Romans it says, we do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit himself intercede for us. The Spirit intercedes and according to the will of God. So when you pray for others, just wish them well, even your enemy, meaning don't resent them. Don't be angry at them. Just wish them well. And because you pray for somebody and they'll end up killing you. What the? You pray for the devil and the devil destroyed you. Do not compare yourself to others. Everybody and the mama does that. Because you're in a fallen state. If you want life, you got to let go. As Mr. Pink would say, you got to overcome the world. You got to overcome the world. Galatians said, don't compare yourself with others. Just look at your own work. Don't compare yourself with others. I was on, and I mentioned the other day, I was on a guest on Mama's House or something like that.
Your mom's house.
Your mom's house. And one of the things that happened is that they showed this video of some guy taking off his shirt and stuff and acting like he had breath or something. And she mentioned that the world going crazy or something like that. May not be exactly. And I said, no. It's not the world going crazy, the individual going crazy. It's that man that did that is not the world. He is his own world. And he's doing that to himself. He's not doing it to me. He's not doing it to her or your husband or anyone. It's happening to him. But people tend to take on other people's issues, identify with them, and that's a horrible mistake. You should never, ever, but never, 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 ever, 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 and never take on another person's problem. That's their issue. They love their issues, and why do you take them on? You know, you're not obligated to anyone but you. You're not obligated to anyone. You have a job, you're obligated to the boss in that you have a job to perform because you work and you get paid, but you don't owe anything to anyone. And that's why I said when you're married, don't try to make any kind of relationship, really, friendships or anything. You can't make them work. Either they work naturally or they don't work. And if they don't work naturally, bye. You've been lied to and you've been told that you have to work on a relationship. It's a give and take. No, it's not. That's a lie too. Give and take what? I give you hell, you take my hell? And the men been taking hell from women forever because they thought they had to or were supposed to. And women been taking hell from weak men because they thought they had to or were supposed to. No, you're not. If it doesn't work naturally, leave it be and just work on you. Let whatever happens. You got to let go, folks. Go according to Galatians 6. Don't compare yourself to others. By the way, your Mama House episode that I was on has 335,000 views already. And it was just released yesterday. 335 views. Amazing! 335,000. It was an amazing discussion. I enjoyed it. Don't compare yourself with others. Just keep your eyes on you. Believe me, it's enough. Try to keep your eyes on you. The hardest thing a human being has to do is to keep their eyes on themselves. They're always looking away from self at somebody else or something else. That's evil. Because you're judging. And everyone has a talent. There's something for you to do, but you got to let it happen. You got to let it come through you. you can't make it happen and don't make up one, that doesn't mean you don't go to work. Go to work, do your thing. But everyone has a talent. Don't look for it, it'll find you. According to Romans 12, it's Bible Thumping Thursday. We have different gifts. If your gift is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is giving, and give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently. But do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but think of yourself with sober judgment. There's a perfect way of living, but it comes from within you. It comes from within you. And the one thing, do what you want, of course, but the one thing I really encourage you to do, but if you don't want to, suffer and die. Stay in your hell. Love your hell. Love your misery. And love telling others about your misery. People, stop listening to other people's misery. They're getting a thrill from telling you about their misery. Really. They're telling you because it feels good. They have like a sadness, but that feels good. They have a fear, that feels good. They have a thrill that you're listening. It's all the thrill of it. It's not that they want to overcome it. They don't want to overcome the thrill. I want you to look at your own life and see how much you are into thrills. It's a thrill to smile at somebody and they smile back. And then if they don't smile back, you get mad, they think they something. Now you got another thrill. Let go of all ideas. All ideas are set up. It's a lie. Yahoo is reporting that Shia LaBeouf was suicidal before turning to God. Watch this from Bishop Robert Barron. Watch this.
And my life was a mess, complete mess. And I had hurt a lot of people, and I felt deep shame, deep guilt. I had a yearning not be here anymore. And I don't know nothing about prayer, because I can't cultivate an unforgiving, I don't know anything about silence. I don't know anything about quiet. And I had also been told my whole life, like, your life is your life. You have to make with it what you can, you know? You got to be a good guy, and then you got to get married, and then you got to get a house, and you got to get a job and do good at your job. And like, your life is your life, and things will work out if you put effort in, and, you know, it's up to you. And I always really felt that. And it made it hard to believe in God, because it felt like my managerial skills are what are going to amount to a fulfilled existence. And then you get further into the gospel, and you start getting into, like, it felt like I started reading about a route. I started like reading a map, like towards something that felt like let go. That's really what I got out of the Gospels. If I could wrap it up in 2 words, it was let go.
Amazing. The world set you up. What does Shia LaBeouf do?
Acts. He's an actor.
What? Oh, he don't look like an actor. How come he look like that?
Millennial.
Huh?
I think he might be a millennial.
Oh, that's why he looked like that?
Yeah.
He don't make no money.
Oh, yeah, he makes plenty of money, I think. I assume. Or used to.
He's not dressing like he make money.
That's their style nowadays.
He's one of the freshest.
It doesn't even look like he showered.
He's one of the best dressed in our.
Oh, so you call that best dressed?
I did, yeah.
Don't show me the worst then.
I don't know anyone who dresses better.
Let me
than
see
Shia.
that again. And tell me if he's best dressed right now.
He's super fresh.
Yeah, he best dressed, all right. I can see it.
Hold on, they don't want me to play it again.
Who?
The computer.
The computer. No,
the spirits in the computer.
That's right. But anyway, he's an actor.
Yeah.
Let me hear that again, because I don't know. I'm trying to hear what he's saying. Okay. This is from Bishop Robert Barron.
That Jesus himself.
And my life was a mess, complete mess. And I had hurt a lot of people, and I felt deep shame, deep guilt. I had a yearning not be here anymore. And I don't know nothing about prayer, because I can't cultivate an unforgiving, I don't know anything about silence. I don't know anything about quiet. And I had also been told my whole life, like, your life is your life. You have to make with it what you can, you know? You got to be a good guy, and then you got to get married, and then you got to get a house, and you got to get a job and do good at your job. And like, your life is your life, and things will work out if you put effort in, and, you know, it's up to you. And I always really felt that. And it made it hard to believe in God, because it felt like my managerial skills are what are going to amount to a fulfilled existence. And then you get further into the gospel, and you start getting into, like, it felt like I started reading about a route. I started like reading a map, like towards something that felt like let go. That's really what I got out of the Gospels. If I could wrap it up in 2 words, it was let go.
Absolutely, let go. Let go. The world has set you up, making you think you got to build and do all this to have a life. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's not true. So being told that Shia LaBeouf, Joel called him one of the greats. Her son said his favorite.
There's a film.
He's age 37, half Jewish, half Christian. Well, that explains it then. He has Jewish and half Christian, and that make a whole. He mother's Jewish. This is from Hake. Mother's Jewish and Cajun father. Oh, his father from Louisiana?
That I don't know.
Cajun father Christian. That's from Wikipedia. He was raised around both sides. He said, both parents? He had both parents.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
He was baptized and had a bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah, yeah.
Bar mitzvah.
He was both baptized and had a bar mitzvah.
Oh, so he taking the best of both sides.
Yeah.
What were you about to say about him?
Oh, yeah, there's a movie that he made called Honey Boy, and the whole movie is about his relationship with his father and reconnecting with his father, and it's mind-blowing film.
Amazing.
It's like really up the alley of Return to the Father.
So he's like a YouTube movie, or he's on TV or theater movie?
No, he was a big actor. He was in Transformers and all this, but then he kind of he got into some little bit of whatever trouble, and then now he kind of makes more like independent, like art type films.
Nice.
For the most part.
Well, I like what he was saying there. And I would love to talk to him one day.
Yeah, he was a Disney actor as a child.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was on a show called Even Stevens. And, he was a child actor.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just don't recognize him.
His father,
I'm sure I've seen him.
His father would take him to the set and everything. That's what the Honey Boy movie's about.
He was in movies with Brad Pitt and everyone. He was a big-time Trump hater. Well, forget about him then.
Nice.
In 2016, it's over. I don't want to talk to him.
But he's grown a lot.
He like Trump?
Yeah, he wasn't a Christian back then.
He like Trump now?
I don't know.
I still don't like him then. I still don't want to talk to him. But anyway. Joel said he's an emotional guy. One other thing I want to get to you, and then I'm going to get back to the phones. This Bible Thumper Thursday, 888-775-3773. Matthew says that, the little boy guy said, let go, right? he was taught you got to be successful, you got to be married, you got to do this, you got to do that. And then he read the word, and the word, what he would get it from the word, the Bible, is to let go. And that is so true. Let go. You should only, according to Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. I'm telling you, that works, but you got to let go. And only, I hear a lot of guys say, well, if I don't look for a wife, how would I get one? How would I know? I'm like, don't look. It'll be added. First thing first. Rule number 1. Seek first and only the kingdom of God in his right way, along with nothing else or anyone else or nothing else, and all things will be added unto you. But if you break that rule, then nothing will work for you. It's not going to work. And love your neighbor as yourself. Nothing else is going to work but that. Amazing, huh? 888-7753-773. Let me go to Tony. There's a line open out of California. Tony, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. How you be today, sir?
All is well, Tony.
Wonderful, wonderful. I got a question. I know you're a Republican and you love Donald Trump.
Speak of Donald Trump. Let me see what he has to say today.
Yeah, see what he has to say.
You're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
That's right.
That's nice. But we all came from somewhere. But
what?
The question I have for you, why the Republican Party? Why the Republican Party?
You said we all
law?
what?
Why the Republican Party?
You said we all.
Law?
What did you say? We all what?
I said we all human beings.
Oh.
Okay. Why are the Republican Party trying to pass a law to get the states, the red states, to donate to Donald Trump's legal fees? I mean, if he's a billionaire, why would he need donations for his legal fees?
Are you a Republican?
I'm asking you a question. I'm a human being, sir.
Do you vote Republican?
That's none of your business, sir.
Then why are you concerned about his business? Why are they doing that?
I'm trying to figure out
why are you making that your business?
Why
are you making that your business?
Because he claiming that he's a
Well, why is that your business?
If he gonna run for my country,
why is that your business?
If he running for
why
my country,
is that your business?
Why you keep asking the same question?
You're not answering it.
Of my country.
Why is that your business, though?
Because I live in this country.
But you don't even vote for him. Why is that your business? You're not a Republican. Thank you, Tony. I got to take a break. 888-7753-773. Quick break. Back in a moment. One line open. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Brand new episode of The Fallen State tomorrow. It was an amazing discussion. I think you're going to really, really like this one. It's with Judge Anthony Moore. And he is an author and former judge who served 26 years on the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, and as a judge pro tem on the California Court of Appeal. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I got married at 66.
Why did you got married so late?
Either I didn't want to marry them or they didn't want to marry me.
Does your wife obey you?
There are times I obey her. It's a different world, Jesse.
Do the Jews own everything?
Heck no.
What's wrong with the blacks?
Well, I know plenty of African Americans who are wonderful people.
Really?
Several who are judges.
I'm about to throw myself in jail already.
No. I believe strongly in a woman's right to choose.
Murder.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. A nice man. Really, I enjoyed him. Anthony Moore. I totally enjoyed him. And you can support The Fallen State right there at on thefallenstate.tv/donate and locals.com. So just click on the link in the description there. You'll find locals.com. But it's tomorrow at 12 noon. Today at 9 a.m. Pacific time, the Hake Report. The Hake Report.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 11 a.m. Pacific time, Joel Friday TV, he be like, mess. He loved to be tender. Oh, man, look at that mess. Arkansas, gentle, not tender. Remember he said to be gentle. We still trying to figure that one out. Maybe he was thinking of Elvis Presley when he was singing that song, "Love Me Tender, Love Me Right, Love Me Tender." Remember that song, Elvis Presley? Maybe Joel Friday was thinking of that. He said, Joel said, take it up with Jesus, not me. Jesus ain't said nothing about loving me gentle. Amazing. Maybe it did mean chicken tenders. But Joel Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, right after the Hake Report. And after that, 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon, flying high on energy from God, natural energy from God. Amazing. But right now, it's Bible Thumper Thursday, and we're taking all calls, but making room for the Bible Thumpers because they need some attention too. And it's hard to just communicate with them in a hurry because all they're doing is thinking of another scripture to throw at you. So they don't really communicate well. So we want to show love to the Bible Thumpers. But in the meantime, and there's one line open, I'm going to get to all of your calls, 888-7753-773. Super Chat.
Super Chats. Someone bought 10 coffees. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but my husband wants me to work. What? Bug-eyed emoji. To do.
Do you have children? Do they have children?
Don't know.
If you don't have children, go to work. But if you do have children, that should have been understood before marriage. You and your husband, during the dating period, should have talked about you staying home to raise his children and the willingness to make sacrifices. You don't have to have the big house next to the Joneses. You don't have to have 2 or 3 cars or the most expensive car. You don't have to do this or that, right? So work it out. I wish you well. I don't know if you have children or not, but if you don't have children, you need to go to work. But Amazing. Thank you.
Someone bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, really amazing interview on the Tom Segura podcast. That's Your Mom's House?
Yes.
Also, just curious, what are your thoughts on praying while listening to music? To be clear, I mean music with no words, like classical stuff.
I don't know what that means by praying while I listen to music. I don't understand that part of it, praying while listening to music. If you can make that a little clearer, I can maybe then respond. But thank you for watching the show. Do we have a little teaser from that show?
From the Your Mom's House?
Yeah.
I do believe we do.
We do? Can we play it? Here's a little teaser from Your Mom's show on Wednesday. I mean, Your Mom's house. I'm going to buy me a plantation down in Alabama.
Yes.
And I'm going to put all the blacks back on the plantation.
This is wild, dude. This is crazy.
So that I could teach them about family and about how to work hard and be individual.
Something tells me
take care of themselves.
This will not be very well received as an idea.
This shit is big time. Who is Randy? Don't bring anyone loving.
It was very, very, I enjoyed them a lot. I really did. It was fun. But I don't know how come taking the blacks back to the plantation to teach them the way the blacks used to be. They used to work hard. They were family-oriented. They loved everyone. They treated people the way they would like to be treated, never mind the color. There were grandparents and parents around and everybody. And they owned businesses. They bought land. Y'all need to buy yourself some land because I hear that all the land has been taken up by the foreigners. And they're going to start creating more land after a while. You better get yourself an acre or two of land, folks, even if you don't use it or live on it for now. You can't go wrong with land. There are some things you need, like land, water, and food. But the blacks used to be that way prior to the civil rights movement. I know it's hard for the millennial generation to understand that because they've been lied to so much about the blacks. And so even the blacks, millennial, but the older generation, they know. They know how the blacks were before the civil rights movement. The worst thing that ever happened to them, other than abortion, was the civil rights movement. So anyway, check that out. Thank you.
Gregatron bought a coffee. Jesse, did you watch the Great White Hope speech after winning New Hampshire?
I did. It was amazing.
Al Sharpton on MSNBC was mad that Tim Scott said he loves Trump on stage. He wanted to call him Tom like a mug so bad. They hate to see the blacks voting for Trump.
Yeah, I saw Tim go around there he was standing behind the Great White Hope. After he got off his knees from bathing that white woman with children who already been married to marry him, he told her, "I love you."
Nice.
Stuff like that. And he was grinning.
Right on. Who doesn't?
What?
Love Trump.
That's right.
Even the haters can't help it.
The hate is love.
Yep.
Because they're both the same. Amazing. Thank you.
Greenwall bought a coffee. Adam had a special friendship, he says. He doesn't say that. With every animal in the Garden of Eden before he met Eve, at least according to the Talmud in Yebamoth 63a. What a mess.
What a mess. The one thing Adam didn't do, because he had control of all the animals, he did not put clothes on dogs. He didn't put raincoats on them. He didn't put what do you call the holiday when it's a scary day? Halloween
costumes.
They didn't put Halloween costume on them. He didn't keep them in the house and weaken them. He didn't put suits on them. He treated them like animals because he knew that God had already provided everything for them. Oh, what a mess. Thank you.
Also on Buy Me a Coffee, no more thoughts. Biblical question response.
What ties you to your parents?
I'm not sure. Before I forgave my parents, I wanted to be close to them. Now I don't really care. Maybe it's some kind of hellish control that comes through the thoughts that is now broken off.
Amazing. Thank you. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate it.
Wonderfully Made bought 5 coffees. I feel connected to my parents.
Wonderfully Made?
Wonderfully Made.
Is that a Christian?
I would say, I would guess.
I hear some of the Bible thumper Christians saying that. I'm wonderfully made. How you doing today? I'm fine, wonderfully made. I'm like, what the?
You are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah. But anyway.
In response to the biblical question.
What ties you to your parents?
I feel connected to my parents because I came from them. My life, as I know it, began with them.
Amazing. Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents on Sunday.
Someone. Good morning, guys. Thanks for helping me return to the love of my father. In spite of his faults and weaknesses, there has never been a better father, and no son has ever loved his father more.
Right on. A return to every soul, male or female, no matter what color, is yearning for the Father. It's not for money. It's not for place. It's not for marriage. It's not for friendship. It's not for anything. It's not for children. It's that yearning, that missing, that emptiness is yearning to return to the Father. Thank you.
An adult human male donated a diamond. I'd like Jesse's thoughts on Isaiah 9:6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Almighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Thanks.
Thank you. That sounds nice. Appreciate it.
Over on Kick, X Thunder said, hello, Jesse. How do you feel about the current state of black culture's pop music, quote unquote, like rap? Do you believe it does more harm than good for the progression of said black community?
Well, personally, I feel nothing about it now. But yes, it's helping to keep the young people, the blacks and others in a fallen state. Because it definitely feeds the ego. Thank you.
John bought 3 coffees in response to the biblical question.
What ties you to your parents? What ties you to your parents?
All the sacrifices and the struggles they did for my sister and I, says John.
Thank you, John. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. That's an interesting answer.
Yeah.
A response. Thank you.
But it's my sister and me. Just imagine all the struggles and sacrifices they did for me. It's not all that they did for I. So it would be my sister and me. Just a little grammar lesson.
Amazing. Thank you.
White Lion.
You white.
I know, I couldn't help it. White Lion bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, based on your responses and Hake's reaction yesterday, I'm pretty certain you know who I am. We must all do our part and everything must be done precisely.
What?
He says he's pretty certain that you know who he is based on my reaction and your responses. And I don't know what that's referring to. But he has bought coffees, and he asked to be White Lion. We must all do our part, and everything must be done precisely.
And so how would I know who he is?
I don't know.
I didn't even know who Shia LaBeouf was.
I like to call it Shia LaBeouf, too. I don't like this LaBeouf stuff. Isn't he Cajun? That's French. Creole. Right? I don't know. Anyway.
He looked white to me.
But thank you, White Lion. Maybe we do, and we just don't realize
I
that
don't know who White Lion is. I don't even know what that means. So I have no idea who that is.
But we do...
maybe if I saw you in person or something, I would know who you are by looking at you or maybe your voice, but I have no idea who you are. But thank you. I'll put my 2 cents in on... He responded to the biblical question.
No, he said we must all do our part and everything must be done precisely.
What does that mean?
Do your part and be
what?
Precise.
About what?
With everything. About everything.
I don't understand, but okay. Thank you.
Joel Friday says, okay, well, we'll call you Hawk instead of Hake. Whatever, man.
It's Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, because I want to call him Shia LaBeouf instead of Shia LaBeouf.
LaBeouf sounds better.
I think LaBeouf sounds correct.
So he wasn't even buff.
I know. Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds. Wow, Joel's taking Shia LaBeouf's side. Shia LaBeouf probably doesn't even care. Anyway, couple of diamonds from Evgeny Crosby. Jason from Buffalo's book, 7 Guaranteed Steps to Living in Your Mom's Basement at 40.
Amazing. Thank you.
An adult human male donated another diamond. Nice.
Appreciate it.
Someone bought a coffee. I figured out Jesse's approach when he says something contradictory. Just slap the word practical in front of it and all is well. All thoughts are lies, kept practical thoughts. Anyone who has fear is father of the devil, except practical fear. Never made a decision in your life, except practical decision. Amazing.
Is that person saying that's contradictory?
Yeah, he thinks that's contradictory. Yeah.
What the? Thank you.
Cavico Joe 67656.
Sweat like a slave.
I know.
Hassan, put the air on me.
Nice. It's nice to be joined by a person who also gets hot in this stuffy studio.
The
sometimes.
thing about being black and sweating, it looked like the Inca baby color. And you can tell when he's sweating. It's like it rolls down like a river.
Anyway, Cavico Joe, my answer to the biblical question. The biblical question being, what ties you to your parents? Hope you're paying attention, JLP. I don't have any ties. I feel like we're doing a disrespecting service.
Oh, go ahead.
Cavico Joe 67656. Biblical question response. What ties you to your parents? I don't have any ties with my parents. I first felt freedom after I moved out, but it's when I forgave them that I felt cut off from all the emotions that tied me to them.
Amazing. Thank you for responding. And I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. I do appreciate that. Her son was suggesting a fan for me, so that's what was going on there. But thank you.
Cavico _Joe 67656. Thanks, Jesse and crew, for all you do. I felt lost, but now I'm found. By the way, I went to the Bond store to buy a book, but I couldn't find the option to get an autographed copy. How do I get the book autographed?
When you order it, just fill in the name that you want in the book, who you want me to autograph it to, and we'll do it.
And it's, if you order it from the Bond store, in general, is it still the case? At one point, it was the case that you would sign them if it was ordered from the Bond store?
Right.
Regardless?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Meaning like if they come in and order it?
No, if it's ordered through from Bond, as opposed to from Amazon.
Oh, yeah. I can
online order from Bond.
If you online order at rebuildingthemand.com/store, I can sign it. And if you call in to order at 800-411-BOND, I can sign them then too.
That's right.
But not from Amazon.
Yep.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. 800-411-2663 or rebuildingthemand.com/store.
White Lion bought another coffee. Hake, thanks for the nice video this weekend. Your efforts in thanking supporters is very much appreciated. Well, thank you, man.
What kind of video?
I did a little video while I was eating my brunch, I guess. And pointed out what I was eating and showed people Santa Monica. I was down in Santa Monica.
Oh.
And talked to them. Just a little thank you to the supporters.
Nice. Did you show them the homeless people too?
No, I stay clear of the homeless bums.
Did you show them the black smashing and grabbing?
No, sirree, Bob.
You didn't show that either?
I do not go into the area where they're getting smashed and grabbed.
Amazing.
That's American Anchor Baby's purview.
Amazing. Thank you.
Heat bought a coffee, Mr. Heat. 5 coffees, actually. Jesse, you got these thoughts in my head on overload. Lord have mercy.
What does that mean?
With that Peekaboo shirt.
This shirt?
Yeah.
Is this a Peekaboo shirt?
Silly face emoji, halo emoji, loving hearts emoji, smiley.
Thank you. What's a Peekaboo shirt?
I don't even know. I was afraid to even say the word, actually.
Well, because you don't know what it means?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
My chest showing a little?
He's flexing. For the podcast listeners, JLP is flexing.
My chest will be and keep the shirt runner stay open.
And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Thank you all. The Hulk. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Amazing. Let me go quickly to Anna out of California. Anna, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
Hey, Anna.
I just want to make a comment to Tony about why the blue states should defend Donald Trump. What about the blue states paying their DA prosecutors to go after him using the people's money, especially what happened with the lady in Georgia, Fannie Williams, that paid a married man, her lover, to take her to trips all over the world with the people's money and to prosecute, go after the best president the United States has. We are lucky to have Donald Trump because he's defending America, and I don't understand why Americans are so blind, having, seen the record of Donald Trump, how he did so many things for Americans, and they don't appreciate that. I don't understand. So that's a good idea. We should give some money to Donald Trump to defend him. That would be fine with me.
Anna, that is an amazing point. A really, really good point. That woman, Fannie Willis, a black female so-called DA down in Georgia, wasting taxpayer money, personal gain, and trying to hurt Trump. Why not help Trump with his legal fees? You're absolutely
and
right.
You know what? And you know what, Jesse, before you take the blacks to the cotton fields, take them to Africa first. Take them all to Africa first. Because, that's what I did. I took my children to Mexico, and now they love America.
Right
my
on.
son even lost his passport. He told me,
Can you hold for me? Can you hold?
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Yeah. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. Freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
An update on the affirmative action FAA. And watch out for the applesauce. It's poison. A lot of kids getting sick. And commie capitalist voting company suing slightly less extremist far-left Fox News or Fox Corporation over the voting speculation that took place in 2020 and 2021. Liberal media is failing. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Thursday, the 25th of January, AD 2024. JLP will be right back for the last hour of Bible Thumper Thursday. But first, Hake News, not fake news. Commie Nonsense Network. CNN says the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, it's a government organization, I think, on Wednesday cleared the way for dozens of grounded 737 MAX 9 airplanes to return to the air. Several airlines in recent weeks, especially Alaska and United Airlines, faced hundreds of cancellations per day because of the grounding of those aircraft over safety concerns. FAA said all of Boeing MAX 9's planes must first be inspected, including bolts, fittings, and guide tracks on the door plug or the plug door, whatever that thing is. Piece of fuselage that flew off and blew a hole open in an Alaska Airlines plane earlier this month. You must have known about it or seen it, hopefully. quite a sight, actually. You got to check it out. However, the FAA has prohibited Boeing from any production expansion of the 737 MAX lineup while its safety probes continues. Aviation experts say this will likely thwart Boeing's efforts to return to profitability in the near term. Watch out for the applesauce. Cinnamon applesauce pouches may have sickened hundreds of children. Oh, may have sickened. Didn't necessarily, but may have. In the United States, they were never tested for heavy metals during their manufacture at an Ecuador plant. Ecuador. According to a newly obtained FDA report, Food and Drug Administration, inspections conducted in an Austro Food facility in December, Austro Food, found the plant did not sample and test the raw material or the finished product for heavy metals, did not have adequate sanitary facilities and accommodations, among other observations. They just don't have the quality control that they used to. That's part of the immigration mess and globo homo mess and diversity mess. At least 385 reported cases of illnesses have been linked to the fruit puree products across 42 states, the scared woman-led unchristian CDC said. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Contaminated applesauce was sold under brands Wanabana, capital B, Weiss, and Schnucks. Commie capitalists suing Fox News. Voting technology company is seeking $2.7 billion in damages from Fox Corporation's parent company of Fox News over the network's repeated airing of 2020 election lies. The judge ruled Wednesday that tech company Smartmatic, they make the voting technology, them and Dominion, right, can move forward with their defamation lawsuit, a major blow to the so-called right-wing network. It's hardly right-wing anymore. Liberal media is failing. People worried about the state of journalism, according to the far-left female-run outlet The Skim. Earlier this week, LA Times, Los Angeles Slimes laid off more than 20% of its newsroom, marking the second round of layoffs in less than a year. LA Times Guild said it disproportionately affected Black, Latino, and Asian employees. I'm chuckling. Reportedly left the Times D.C. bureau gutted amid an election year. The Times isn't the only outlet seems to be in free fall. News followed layoffs at Sports Illustrated and Time Magazine, two other far-left extremist outlets. Anti-Trump, by the way, all of them. Comes after one report found in 2023 saw a record number of news layoffs amid declining ad revenue and readership. Experts aren't hopeful things will get better. A survey of media leaders expect less traffic to news sites in the coming years. As is others worry that AI platforms could become the new anchorman and go-to news source. And the godless liberals. 1/3 of America per Pew Research Center, so-called Americans, with no religious affiliation reached nearly 30%, up from 12% in 2007. None, the nuns, N-O-N-E-S, were what they were called by the researchers. Leftists, mostly. I'm James Hake.
Stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. Good morning. You can get involved. There are two lines open right now. You want to jump in? We're going to get to every call as possible. But two lines open at 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week: what ties you to your family? What ties you to your family? I mean, to your parents, sorry. What ties you to your parents? What ties you to your parents? The biblical question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. Jesse Lee Peterson. First, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you land up at a beach or your wife calling police on your husband and lying and saying that he abused you, whatever you might be doing, you're taking fentanyl, you can be listening to the show while doing what you're doing by calling the listen line on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. And also, social media, follow us, like, ring the bell, subscribe, and telephone, telegraph, tell everybody. We're JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. To donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. All right. It's Thursday. It's the last hour of the Thursday show. It is Bible Thumper Thursday.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't feel your faith. Are you ready? Are you...
Who is that man? Who is that man? Normally, white people don't carry on like that. What now? So let me explain the shirt. I went and put on this shirt, which is Hassan, waiting on God. Waiting on God, waiting on God, and waiting on you. Waiting on God, waiting on God, and waiting on you. And now, because my chest is so big, the other shirt I had on, it not only showing the big chest, but it's also opening the shirt up. So I went and put that on. Nice shirt, though. That's Hassan's dog. Is that your dog?
No, that's not my dog.
What's the thing around in that?
That's a thorn contraption that they put around the neck of the sheepdog to protect. That dog is to protect the sheep, and it protects the other sheep. So when the wolves come to try to attack the sheep, that dog gets in the way, and that thorn thing around his neck is so that the wolves don't bite his throat.
Oh,
so he's
really?
The shepherd of the sheep, the sheepdog.
Man, whatever. Do you have waiting on dog? I mean, waiting on dog. Waiting on God.
Oh yeah, we got to get your version queued up though.
Okay.
The JLP remix.
Let me hear it. Oh, let me know when it's ready.
Okay, yes,
One
sir.
last thing. Does your dog know you got another dog on the shirt? You have another dog on the shirt?
All dogs go to heaven.
Who let the dogs out? Amazing. Anyway, so that's the shirt. All right. Thank you. I want to go back to Anna, and Anna is responding to a guy from California who called and said that, why the red state want to pay for Trump? Leak a fee. He doesn't even vote Republican or and don't even vote for the president. Ain't all in their business. What the? And Anna is responding, and she makes sense. They're using the taxpayer dollars to try to hurt the president, taking him in court and all that mess. And Fannie Willis, that black woman, so-called DA down in Georgia, according to reports, hired her little boyfriend. He black, didn't even know what he's doing. And so Anna was responding to that. And I was on another show, Your Mom's House, and I was saying I would put the blacks back on the plantation so they can learn how to be responsible again. And Anna, you were saying that you took your kids to Mexico, and now that they've gone to see Mexico, they can appreciate America?
Yes, and even my son, he had his passport and told me, don't you ever take me back to Mexico. They said, we love America, we belong to America, and that's what I thought. Take the blacks to Africa first before you take them to the plantation so they can see really where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And they appreciate this country. And one more thing for Tony, Jesse. He's worried about the red states paying for...
Yeah. Anna. I think Anna's phone dropped. Or maybe she hit the mute button. I put on hold and let Sean check it out. Don't hang up, Anna, if you're still there. I don't know what happened to you. It's Bible Thumper Thursday. Before I go back to the phones, it's election time this month. And it's going to get worse before it gets better because they're going to try to deceive you in order to keep the Democrats in charge. And if the Democrats just stay in charge, it's over for America. Ain't no coming back. And and I noticed that the Democrats want Nikki Haley because they know she's a rhino, easily controlled, and a warmonger and all that kind of stuff. When they had the vote in this recent vote they had between the Great White Hope and Nikki Haley, that female, a lot of the Democrats voted for Nikki Haley, it seems, and they said that, but they wouldn't vote for her in the general election. They'll vote for Biden. But they didn't want Trump. So it's not that they want Nikki Haley either, but they don't want Trump. But when it comes to the real time to vote, they wanted Biden. It's all set up. If ever we needed the Great White Hope back, we need him now. I want you to watch this from the Patriot Post. Let me see that.
The founders never intended for Americans to trust their government. Our entire Constitution was predicated on the notion that government was a necessary evil to be restrained and minimized as much as possible. Rand Paul.
And that is so true. We're not supposed to you don't want to get rid of it. We're not supposed to trust the government. It's we the people, not we the government. The government work for us, and if they don't do what we want them to do, we're supposed to fire them. You can't trust the government because all the fame and the money and the power, so-called power, perceived power, it strokes their ego, and they don't care about the people. It's all about them. Everything they do is about themselves. Republicans or Democrats. We're not supposed to trust the government. But now the government is so big because it takes care of the people, give them free this and free that and free this and free that. The people have given up and trust the government, and it's out of control. Well, the Great White Hope would change that. The Great White Hope would change that. The borders are out of control. It's a real serious emergency mess. Everybody and their mama are coming in, and they're coming from around the world, and all kinds of people, terrorists, all kinds of people coming in. And they're bringing in their S-hole ideas from their S-hole countries. And the right-o Republicans and the Democrats don't care because they want to vote. They don't want Donald Trump in there to close the borders. The southern borders are a mess. According to The Hill, more voters pointed to immigration than to inflation as a top policy concern in January, according to a poll released on Monday. Watch this from the White House.
Immigration is now the top issue for Americans over the economy, over inflation, as according to a new Harvard poll. So is immigration the president's top priority?
There are many issues that are top priorities for this president, right? This is a president that has to deal with multiple issues all at once. Obviously, immigration is clearly important. So obviously, it's a priority for this president, and he is managing multiple things that are important and key to the American public.
Amazing. That's a lie. The borders are out of control, folks. Your government work against you and not for you. Because it's we the people. You're not supposed to trust the government. They're on a trip, ego trip. I would love, when I become president, the first thing I'm going to do and put it back to the good old days when you can only vote if you own land. If you don't own land, you can't vote. You're not going to vote for the best interest of the people. You're going to vote for the best interest of you, which you think you can get for nothing. I would go back to only people who own property can vote. You know what I mean? And just a reminder that in 2019, according to CNBC, President Donald Trump asked the U.S. Congress for $8.6 billion to help pay for the wall on the southern borders. He only asked for $8.6 billion, and they didn't do it. Or they gave him hell. $8.6 billion, right? No, that's too much money, they say. But it's, according to the Daily Caller, Biden administration spent $20 billion. The only thing Donald asked for was $8.6 billion to build the wall. And they didn't want to do it because they didn't want the wall to go up. But according to the Daily Caller, Biden spent $20 billion on refugee resettlement in just 2 years. $20 billion. Let's not count the money they sent to Ukraine and not want to take care of home. $20 billion. And the Daily Wire is reporting that the funds went to the Office of Refugee Resettlement, which claimed to provide social services that help refugees become self-sufficient as quickly as possible after they arrive in the United States. Illegally, they're arriving, right? And then they have these refugee money for them. And they put a pretty name on it, refugees resettlement. You can't trust the government. You're not supposed to trust the government. What a mess. I want my country back. And there are Christians who believe that Christians should not be involved in government. You see what happens when you're not involved? Can you get any dumber than that? Any Christian that think Christians should not be involved in government, you're dumb. You're lost and need to be found. You're lost and need to be found. And they're all just acting, except the Great White Hope. They're just actors on a stage. Political theater. Theater. I want to give you an example of that. This is from The Hill. Greg Abbott accused the federal government of breaking the contract with the state following a Supreme Court ruling on Monday that cleared the way for the Border Patrol to remove razor wire along the U.S.-Mexico border. I do want to remind you that the U.S. Supreme Court gave them permission to take it down, the wire, when Abbott put it up. They said no. And what's interesting about that is that Donald Trump appointed at least two of those so-called conservatives on the U.S. Supreme Court. They went in favor with the liberals. They went with the liberals on this decision. Watch this from Fox.
It's been a back-and-forth battle between the state of Texas' aggressive initiatives to increase border security and the federal government trying to stop them. Monday, the Supreme Court ruled the federal government remains supreme. The Supreme Court is temporarily allowing Border Patrol agents to cut and remove about 30 miles of razor wire installed by Texas law enforcement along the Rio Grande. Governor Greg Abbott and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton say they'll continue to fight in court to keep that razor wire up. Meanwhile, senators are working on a deal to secure the southern border. They say they're close, but aren't quite finished yet.
We're working hard on a bipartisan basis to try to come up with a piece of legislation that will actually help begin to solve this crisis at the border.
They're just lying. Put the wall up, it's over. Put the wall up, it's done. They're just acting, that's all. It's not real. They're not doing anything. Put the wall up, it'll be over. I'm black and slow, and I know that. Put the wall up. That's all you have to do. But they don't want to do it. They're lying. And they're just trying to win the Oscar. That's what it's all about. They want to yell and scream and be on TV so you can think that they care. And they don't. Republicans and Democrats, we only have a one-party system now. We do not have a two-party system. The Rhino Republicans are no different than the Democrats. Here's an example. It's all an act. This is from The Hill. Frustration explode at Senate GOP luncheon over border deal. Senate Republicans, including Ted Cruz, vented their frustration over an emerging border security deal and complained about being left in the dark about key details. Watch this from X.
Last year, thousands upon thousands of children were brutalized and sexually assaulted by human traffickers, and Democrats don't care. Last year, thousands of women were sexually assaulted by human traffickers, and Democrats do not give a damn. This supplemental bill is a kamikaze plane in a box canyon with no exit, headed for a train wreck. Republican leadership is like Charlie Brown with Lucy and the football. And over again, they run for the football, and over again, Lucy Schumer pulls it away. So negotiating with Chuck Schumer on securing the border is like putting Hannibal Lecter in charge of a Go Vegan ad campaign. He might dine on your liver with a healthy side of fava beans.
That's all an act. He doesn't care about the women getting raped or the children, whatever he said about the women and children at the border. Ted Cruz doesn't care either. The Democrats don't care. No one cares. Even the people who are coming here, even the women who are getting raped or the children, whatever he said, they don't care either. Because if they cared, they wouldn't do it that way. They wouldn't come that route. So it's all an act. There's no love. It's just an act. It's just an act. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Robert out of California. Robert, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Oh, yeah. Hey, good morning, sir.
Hey there.
Yeah, so this is Bible Thumper Thursday, and I saw your shirt.
Bible Thumper Thursday.
Yeah, wouldn't you consider that blasphemy?
Who?
The term on God.
What do you mean?
The term on God, wouldn't that be considered blasphemy?
What is blasphemy?
Something that is against God or done in vain, you know.
What is blasphemy?
Blasphemy is speaking as a deterrence against God.
Give me an example of what you mean.
Sacrilegiously.
Give me an example of what you mean. I have no idea what that is. I'm black and slow, Robert, so you might not know, but I don't know what that means either.
Yeah, I would compare on God to a term like love is love. You know, you're trying to give it the positive high morality of God, but, you know, it's a term that's being used in vain.
That's not clear. I don't know what you mean by that.
You're using God in vain to portray a positive image or use it. So I would say that term on God is blasphemous.
Again, define blasphemy for me.
Well, here, could I ask this question? Do you believe Jesus is God?
Well, let's deal with that first, and I'll let you ask me that. But what do you mean by on God and blasphemy?
You're throwing whatever it is, verbally, mentally, physically, onto Jesus, and you're doing it in vain when you should be in prayer.
How is on God blasphemy, though? You're not telling me that.
Oh, yes. I believe I answered it.
No, you didn't. Because it's just a shirt with words on it that advertise a song that says on God. How is that what you call blasphemy? You remember when they were calling Jesus blasphemer because he said he was the son, right?
Yes.
Was Jesus wrong for saying he was the Son of God?
No.
And so why did they call him blasphemy?
Because of who their God is, and the evil in their heart doesn't allow them to see that Jesus is God.
So you're calling these words blasphemy because you don't know who God is?
Well, any verbal, you know, or like an image representation, you know, the letters ONGOD, I would say portrays a blasphemous.
But
term.
that doesn't even make sense.
That's being used in vain.
That doesn't even make sense. You don't even know what blasphemy is then.
Oh yeah, it's words or imagery or anything used sacrilegiously against the Lord.
No, that's not blasphemy. That's not what it means. Where you get that definition from?
Oh, that's what I've come to believe.
Oh, so you made that up?
Oh, no.
But where you get that from then?
From my heart.
Your heart is still evil?
No.
It deceives you because that doesn't even make sense at all.
No, I would say it wouldn't deceive me because, you know, if it's coming from the heart, with, you know, that's the message that is being portrayed from God, and
But not if the heart is wicked. Your heart is wicked, so you're getting the wrong information from the heart.
Yeah, I would say God's pretty clear.
But you're not. God is absolutely clear, but you're not. You still haven't told me what blasphemy is.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what blasphemy is, and that's what I would say that shirt is.
But you're making that up, though.
Well, it's something that is being used in vain,
No, let me show you what this shirt. You got this already. Here's what the shirt is referring to. Watch this. See there? That's blasphemy. Let's come back to it. We'll come back before you hang up. What the? But no, that's not blasphemy. You don't know what it is. You're just making up stuff.
Alrighty.
Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
You asked me if I believe that Jesus was God or something like that?
Yes, sir.
What did you ask exactly?
Do you believe Jesus is God?
No.
Okay. And
do you believe he is?
Yes, sir.
And why do you believe that? You got blasphemy wrong, so why do you believe Jesus is God?
Yes, I believe Jesus is God because the only one that is God, the only one that is to be considered holy is the Father in heaven. So when Jesus was born, the angels were the ones that came down when he was conceived, and the angels were the ones that gave him the name Jesus. The child that should be born shall be called holy, the Son of God. I believe that is what Luke 1:35. So if Jesus, Son of God, named by the angels, is to be considered holy, and the only one that is holy is the Father of God, that makes him God. And the reason
did you say the Father of God?
No, Son of God.
So if he's the Son of God, how is he the Father?
Yeah, so God is with us.
If he's the Son of God, how is he the Father?
The Father in heaven.
If he's the Son of the Father in heaven, how is he God?
Because the Spirit. The Spirit.
If he's the Son of the Spirit of the Father, how is he God?
The Son of the Spirit. You're saying the Son of the Spirit of the Father.
That was a question. If he's the Son of God, how is he God? You didn't answer that.
Because they're all in one.
What would that mean?
Jesus, the Father, and the Holy Spirit.
So Jesus is God is the Father, right?
Jesus, the Son of God, the Father.
God is the Father, right?
Yes.
And Jesus the Son, right?
Yes.
And Holy Spirit the teacher, right?
The Holy Spirit is the teacher.
And you call him God.
Yes, I call Jesus God.
And that makes sense to you. Hold on, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Amazing. Back in a moment. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone. And you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. Okay, welcome back. The Hake Report is coming up. Hake. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And James Hake is on fire. The guy with the good hair. The Hake Report. TheHakeReport.com. And then at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. He black, better known as Arkansas. Arkansas, not Arkansas, but Arkansas, at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. Flying high on energy. And then on Friday, the American Anchor Baby takes you for a real ride in an airplane, online, at 4 p.m. tomorrow. The American Anchor Baby. Brand new episode of the FallenState.tv tomorrow. You would not want to miss this. Anthony Moore was very, very interesting. Anthony is an author and former judge who served 26 years on the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, and as a judge pro temp on the California Court of Appeal. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I got married at 66.
Why you got married so late?
Either I didn't want to marry them or they didn't want to marry me.
Does your wife obey you?
There are times I obey her. It's a different world, Jesse.
Do the Jews own everything?
Heck no.
What's wrong with the blacks?
Well, I know plenty of African Americans who are wonderful people.
Really?
Several who are judges.
I'm about to throw myself in jail already.
No. I believe strongly in a woman's right to choose.
Murder.
No, it's not.
It was amazing. Tomorrow at 12 noon. All right? Friday at 12 noon. Support the Fallen State there at thefallenstate.tv.com and then fallenstate.tv/donate. fallenstate.tv/donate. And then locals.com. Locals.com. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. And by the way, if you need counseling, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I do it by either phone, Skype, or walk-in. Go to Rebuilding the Man. Family or individual, doesn't matter. Ladies, go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663. I want to go quickly back to the busy phones. Robert, first time call out of California, said that the T-shirt is the blasphemy that says on God. And Robert believes Jesus is God, even though there's no proof of it. He still believes it. So Robert, the T-shirt is just a T-shirt with words on it promoting a song. Here's what the song sounds like. Can I hear Waiting on God? Waiting on God, waiting on God. 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 Waiting on God, waiting on God.
And he waiting on me. Yeah, he waiting on me. Oh, he waiting on me. Yeah, he waiting on. Yeah, he waiting on. Yeah, he waiting on me.
Amazing. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, am I still there?
Yes, and you believe that Jesus is God with no proof. Do you still have anger, Robert?
Oh no.
You never get angry?
Only in the authority of God, though.
And so, if you don't have anger, how can you get angry?
Well, because I would say that God, He has an absolute disdain for sin, for evil, and that was even given proof when Jesus lashed out in at his church, at the church, and knocked over the tables and.
If you don't get angry, how do you still have anger?
Not anger in the form of being angry.
If you still get angry, how is it that you get angry when you say you don't have anger, but yes, you get angry? How is that possible?
I would show anger towards what is considered sin.
But how do you show something that you don't have?
You pray for it. Pray against it. Pray against the evil, actually.
You pray against evil?
You pray against it, yes.
And how come that doesn't work for you?
Oh, it does.
No, it doesn't.
When you rebuke in the name of Jesus.
It's not working for you at all.
It works.
No, it doesn't.
Jesus, the Holy
why
Spirit,
it's not working?
He's been with the Hebrews when he was in the Ark.
Are you a black Israelite?
No, the proof is there because Jesus has been there.
Are you a black Israelite?
No, sir.
Are you a black Hebrew?
No.
Well, why you bring up the Hebrews?
Because when they carried the Ark of the Covenant in the wilderness, the spirit that was contained in there is Jesus.
Robert, you have no idea what you're talking about. Are you white?
No.
You black?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Robert.
The proof has been there.
Robert, Robert, where's your proof? Because of time, where's your proof that Jesus is God?
That Jesus is God. He said it, and multiple people have said it.
Where did Jesus say that he was God?
He declared himself the I am. He declared himself that he is Son of God.
Robert, he did declare he was the Son of God, but where did he say he was God?
Where did he say? So you're asking, did he say I am God in the Bible?
Where did he say I am God? He did say, he made it clear he was the Son of God, and he made it clear, don't worship me, because it's not me, it's the Father in me. He made it clear that greater work shall we do than what he's done. But where in the Bible
are one.
Where in the Bible does it say I am God?
It doesn't say that in the Bible.
Then why are you saying it?
Because Jesus has declared himself as God.
Hey, Pastor Jesse,
can I put you in the hot seat because we're both running on time?
Robert,
are you voting for Trump in 2024?
Robert, where in the Bible?
Great white hope.
Robert. I'm gonna let you ask us about the great white hope. Don't worry. Where did he declare I am God?
He declared himself as I am, and I am and the Father are one.
Where did he declare that he was God?
All throughout the Bible, where he spoke to his disciples.
Where in the Bible did it say he declared I am God?
He did not say that in the Bible.
But you just said he declared that he was God. Where did he declare that?
You're looking for the specific words? Those specific words were not written like that.
Where did he declare I am God? You said he did.
Yeah. The Bible speaks about if you deny the gospel of Jesus Christ, then you're speaking against the truth.
Robert, where did you said he declared that he was God. Where did he declare that?
He said, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that same God that spoke to Moses in the bush is the same God that is Jesus.
I'm going to ask you one more time then. I'm going to let you ask me about Trump.
I'm giving you
where
Jesse, you're the one.
Declare I am God.
You got to humble your heart, Jesse, because he's the same God that spoke to Moses is the same God.
Robert.
There's only one God.
All right, Robert. You want to ask me about Trump? Go ahead.
Hot seat question. You voting for Trump, the great white hope?
We are going to drain the swamp in Washington, D.C.
Amazing.
Yes, sir. Trump, baby. And last question. Did you have fun?
I had fun. Thank you, Robert.
Awesome, sir. Have a good day, man.
You too, buddy. Amazing. 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 Is this Gregory? I mean, let me go to Jeffrey. Jeffrey been waiting for a while. Jeffrey, you're on the air. Thank you for holding. Hey, Jeffrey? I put Jeffrey on hold because I hear him in the background. So let me go to, is it Abel? Abel, first time call out of California. Abel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you. I just wanted to answer your question regarding how we are tied to our parents. In my opinion, I think one of the ways we're tied to
what ties you to your parents?
I believe it might be the values that were instilled in us through the models our parents.
But just tell me,
our parents modeled.
Tell me what ties Abel to his parent. You.
Definitely. The values they instilled in me by the behaviors they modeled during my upbringing, they are responsible for the person, or partially responsible for the person I am today. Of course, my own volition has a lot to do with it. Hey, Jesse, I just wanted to make that. Pardon?
You say your own volition?
Oh no, I said they're partly responsible for who I am today. Aside from my own volition, my own decision to follow the tenets of Christianity the way I do and whatnot. Hey, Jesse, I just wanted to leave that comment and say hello to you. Thanks for taking my call. I want to give a shout out to my boy Rico Anderson and Terry Strange on the YouTube chat.
Let me just say this. I appreciate your input on the biblical question, but I want to ask real fast because of time. What values did they instill in you?
I definitely, you know what? My work ethic for sure. Watching my parents work as hard as they did. I'm the child of immigrants. My parents came here. They got their citizenship. They were adamant about getting their citizenship. It was very important to them. So witnessing them play citizenship to the degree that they did in importance, it was a huge desire for them to achieve that, being that they came from another country, and then things like that.
And so they
inspired me to.
They taught you how to work. Can you give me one other example of a value they instilled in you?
Oh, honor.
What did that mean?
Honor. Watching my parents work as hard as they did and watching them have the respect they have for this country, their host country, inspired me to join the military and serve our country.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, I think it's one of the best ways to repay my parents' host country and to show that I'm a part of this country. I love America. And again, Jesse, thank you for having me on your show.
You're welcome, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I got to run, but thank you. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Is he ready, Sean? Who was that I was trying to get? Oh, Jeffrey. I forgot. Jeffrey ready now. Jeffrey, thank you for calling. You're on the air.
All right. Hey, Jesse, how you doing, man? It's good to see you and talk to you today.
You're welcome. Thank you, buddy.
All right. I wanted to answer the biblical question.
What ties you to your parents?
You know what ties me to my parents is my behavior.
Explain.
So, between the ages of 1 and 5 and 1 and 7, whatever behavior I've seen, I had to automatically download it because my mind at that time could not say no to anything I was looking at, seeing, hearing, so on and so forth. So their behavior around the house became my behavior. So, yeah.
And was that a good thing?
No, historically speaking, no. No, not at all.
And one thing, what was not good about it? Why wasn't it a good thing?
The abuse, the isolation, the alcoholism, the bad words,
what a mess.
Yeah, it was just a mess, man.
Have you forgiven them?
In part. I'll say in part I have. I'm still trying to work that out.
Have you forgiven them?
No. No.
And why not?
I guess I don't know how.
Hey, parents, Mama, I'm sorry for resenting you for turning me away, and I'm throwing out things, turning me away from my father, imposing your will on me. And Daddy, I'm sorry for resenting you for not protecting me from her.
See, the problem is they're both dead now, Jesse.
Well, let's realize then that just as something is driving you to think and do the things you do that you don't want to and prevent you from doing right, same thing that was in them. And they couldn't help it. And when you realize that about you, it will cause you to realize that about them, and God will cause you to forgive them.
Okay. Hey Jesse, thank you for that. Hey, I have a plug real quick.
Wait, hold on a minute. Let's tell Sean what it is, and then I'll let you mention it. Super chat.
Nick Sweetie bought a coffee. Most people are tied to their parents because they are not taught to be independent. He's not answering the biblical question because he's not talking about himself.
Oh, okay.
So,
thank you.
They may rely on the parents financially, or like most betas, they still living with mama.
Amazing. Thank you.
Shout out to the top contributors over on D-Live, an adult human male, Evgeny Crosby, Zealous Hermit, Enoch Bear, and Enoch 87 Bear, and the rest of the supporters. Thank you, guys, and that's all for now.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I did open the treasure chest.
You did indeed. Thank you. And shout out to the treasure chest luckiest winners from the redistribution of lemons. Pot Leaf, Kid Combo 1.0, Taking Care of Business, and many others. Shout out.
Amazing. Thank you. Amazing. You said this shirt is bad English?
Yeah, it's bad English.
Instead of, what should it say?
It should be waiting for God. Not waiting on God.
It doesn't say waiting. Or...
I know, but I was talking about the song wording. But it's black English, so it's okay.
Waiting on God, waiting on God. He's waiting on you.
Because waiting on him means like you're serving him. Well, maybe that's what he means. I could be wrong.
Waiting on God.
Because a waiter waits on you.
Waiting on me.
A waiter waits on you. He's not waiting for you necessarily.
Right. Oh, okay.
Just FYI. Since you asked. Don't blame me, guys.
You right. Who was I talking to? Shaw?
Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, thank you, buddy. Go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to mention you were talking about the United States earlier and how it's just falling apart from within, right?
Yes.
So my take on that is that the women are destroying this country, the whole darn country. I'm telling you.
And why do you say that?
And here's why: because the spirit of the woman is controlling the men. The men are putting forth the woman's agenda, and that agenda is do not let men do for themselves. If they do for themselves, they will gain power and control, and they will have nothing. Just like the lady that you spoke with, that you had played a clip from her. Her family, her children would come home and be happy about daddy.
Yeah.
And yeah. That's exactly the same thing that's going on.
And she didn't like the fact that they would come home. When the father came home, the kids would meet him at the front door. And she wanted him to hug and kiss her first.
Yeah, that is so upsetting.
Yeah, but you're right, man. You make a good point. I understand that.
They are destroying the whole country from the top to the bottom. Look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a woman. I'm telling you, man.
Amazing point. Thank you, buddy. I totally appreciate that.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
That's deep.
Look
You
forward
too.
to talking to you next time.
All right. Let me go to a first-time caller, Darren, out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Darren, welcome welcome to the show, Darren.
Hey, Jesse. Quick question, buddy. I'm homeless right now, right? And I want to find myself to be better because I know that I need to be better than what I am right now. And when it comes to forgiving your mother, when it comes to forgiving your father, okay, I've had moments where excuse me, I don't mean to be emotional, but I've had moments where I think I've forgiven my father and my mother. I think I went and I forgave her. I told her, and she responded back to me talking about, "Oh, I forgive you too," and I just let that slide. You know what I mean? But there's something inside of me that I still remember. Like, I know when you forgive, you forget completely. You let it go. But there are things that I remember even after forgiving her. Is that what do I do with that?
All you need to do is watch that. Those are thoughts, and those thoughts are coming from the evil nature, which is the devil, and he is reminding you in order to deceive you, to make you think or try to make you think that you have not forgiven. But if you just watch that and don't call it you anymore, you don't need to go back and forgive anymore. Just let it pass. Just watch it. He'll be destroyed. That's not you at all reminding you. Those are not your thoughts. Those are not your reminders. Those are not your feelings. So stop identifying with them. Stop calling them you.
And one more question, Jesse, if you don't care. How do I know when I've truly, because I know based off of what you said to forgive, and I think I heard something on the Hake report not too long ago. You forgive, and you forgive. No, it was actually church. It was church on your church show. But you said, God said you forgive, and you forgive. So forgiving your mother and your father is like the training wheels to forgive everybody.
Well, once you forgive
the rest of your life.
Once you forgive your parents, there is no more forgiving because your nature is now changing from unforgiveness to perfect love, which is the nature of God. And once you do that, it's going to be impossible to ever be angry again. So you would never judge yourself or anyone else again.
One last question, I'll let you go. When it comes to my father, before I ever got introduced to you and the forgiveness and everything like that.
Make a long story short, the computer could cut us off.
Before I ever got to forgive you and everything like that, how do I went to forgive my father. I told him, I said, hey, listen, I don't hold resentment to you. I don't resent you for not being there. What do I do? But that was before I ever met you. Have I really forgiven him?
Yes.
But I didn't even know that I was really forgiven. I thought I was kind of just saying it. It was kind of words with emptiness.
Well, then go back and have a talk with him. Ask him why wasn't he there to protect you from your mother. Hear him out, and that will cause you to forgive him.
Thank you, Jesse.
Let me know how it goes.
Thank you.
Okay. I am out of time. The Hake Report is coming up now. The Hake Report. Get on that straight and narrow. You are responsible for you. Nobody else is. Only you. Work on you. Do the silent prayer. Forgive your mother and your father, especially the mother and the father. And don't hold anything against yourself. It will change. All right? The Hake Report coming up, and then Joy on Friday, and then the Anchor Baby. I'm out of time to the callers, Chauncey and Scott and people hanging up. Call me tomorrow. It's Open Line Friday. Take care. Have a good one. Thank you for the super chats, too. I appreciate it. Amazing. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Like my cousin, sent me you, and I thank him for that. It was more of a, he thinks the whole everything's a joke. That just adds a little spice to it. But in the heart of what you're saying, there is real things going on. And people want to overlook that. And I'm telling you, Mr. Peterson, I'm not one of those people. And I thank God that, He showed you to me. And sometimes we just need some Jesse in our lives, I guess.
I wish we had more brothers like you. We need more brothers like you. Just because we don't have most guys that can, lead black people into the right direction. And I thank you for that, because a lot of people will be like, man, it's still going on. It's racism. Yeah. And I try to tell them, watch his show. Listen to this brother. He's telling the truth.
Take no thought about tomorrow. Yesterday doesn't exist. And you're going to see, man, God is with us, and all is well.